All right, it's chip of the day. We have a Burr Brown chip today. It's an OPA336. It is a single supply, so ground to whatever, and it's micro power. That's its claim to fame. Remember that, it's micro power. So it can run down to 2.3 volts or up to 5.5 volts. So don't use it in a 12 volt system. It only goes up to 5.5 volts and the ground reference. So good for battery powered stuff, blah, 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 blah. All the typical marketing BS. Anyway, let's see here. It can operate to 2.1. It says 2.3 over here, then it says 2.1 here. So whatever. You have to read the data sheet carefully. But it has a low quiescent current of 20 microamps. Now we've seen other op amps that have a shutdown pin that puts it into low power mode. This one's in low power mode to begin with, but that comes at a penalty. So let's take a look at that. It comes in all kinds of different packages, singles, doubles, and quads. That's why it's 336 is the single, 2, 336 at 4, 336. I think you can do that in your head. Okay, so let's take a look at the data sheet. It says 2.3. So why does the front page say 2.1? Why? Why? Let's see here. Power supply. Okay. Here's the marketing folks getting in the way. All right. So if you are designing a product, there's the minimum, the typical, and the maximum, and you always want to design to minimum and maximum. You sort of want to know what typical is, but you've got to make sure that minimum and maximum will work for you, right? So down here in the power supply section, all right, it says 2.3 minimum, 5.5 maximum, and 2.1 typical. So it can go down to 2.1 on a sunny day. But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. 2.3 is what you design to. All right. Temperature range. We talked about temperature ranges with resistors the other day. Here's a range of temperatures that will go from -40 to +85. And then there's an operating range of -55 to +125. Again, use the conservative ones. All right. So when does this thing not be such a wonderful part? When does it not be such a wonderful part? Right here. Right here. Let's zoom down because it's bad. Frequency response. Frequency response is 100 kilohertz. Wah, wah, wah. So yeah, it's slow. This part is super slow. But a lot of times you're using op amps to buffer things for DC, for battery applications, for monitoring things. And 100 kilohertz bandwidth is just fine. Say you have a gain of 100, you still can put through a kilohertz signal and you're good to go. So yeah, just be aware of that. Low current means low go. Let's look at some graphs here. Let's get back out. Frequency, yeah, see the frequency goes up and it goes blah. Dies pretty quick too. Right around 10 kilohertz it starts to go wacka. Power supply projection, all normal stuff. So anyway, let's hook one up and see what there is to see. Here's one right now. So I have it hooked up in a buffer mode, just the minus input's tied to the output, and we're going to feed into the input with a 10K resistor. We're going to put in a signal that has a 2.5 volt offset. We have 5 volts going on the part. And then what we will do here is we will take a look on the Oscilloscope. I don't like that word. It's an oscilloscope or just a scope. I always call it a scope. I know some people use O-scope. I guess it's fine depending on where you grew up at. But I don't like the term. All right, so here is a kilohertz with a gain of 1, right? So how fast can we go? I've remembered that 1 kilohertz, so it's there in this kind of reddish thing here. Can we turn the brightness up? Let's turn the brightness up. And didn't turn up very far. Anyway, good enough. And so we're going to go up in frequency and up in frequency and up in frequency. This is for the function generator, and that it just died. 18 kilohertz. It died a terrible death. Right about there, 12 kilohertz. It's looking okay. And then if we go, it's starting to get some non-linearity in it, and it's starting to look like a triangle wave. In fact, it looks like a sawtooth wave. It's non-symmetric, and that's happening at, where's that happening? 15 kilohertz. And if we go up here to 20 kilohertz, it's looking pretty shabby. Let's go up to their 100 kilohertz number. Just for grins. There's 50 kilohertz. Yeah, I don't know where they got that 100 kilohertz number, but yeah, it's looking bad, looking bad. There's about 100 kilohertz, so yeah, I don't know. Who writes these data sheets anyway? So I think the lesson of the day is, even when you read the data sheet and are being a good boy and following all the numbers, sometimes you got to go double check it. Is that 100 kilohertz really 100 kilohertz? Or in my particular use case, is it not 100 kilohertz? So yeah, trust but verify, right? So they always say. Anyway, that's tip of the day, an OPA336.